cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host, Freddie G, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. And you can find us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And if you're on YouTube, please don't forget to like and or subscribe. Welcome back, fellas, to another True Tuesday episode. Today, man, I thought we'd talk about a story that I heard in the news last week. However, it actually occurred over the 4th of July weekend. I don't know if you guys heard this story or not, but it was a 35-year-old mother of two who was said to have died from drinking 64 ounces of water in a matter of 20 minutes.
Wow. 64 ounces of water?
64 ounces, which is what you're supposed to consume in a day. Oh, so she consumed what you're supposed to consume in a day in 20 minutes. And this had a fatal effect. Yeah. It says that she drank the water and then she felt dizzy and had a headache. Yeah. And so she didn't die immediately. It didn't say. I'm not sure how long after the fact, but she was at a lake. The family was at a lake, and when they got home, she felt, I guess, the effect, the dizziness and headache, and they said that she started walking and eventually just passed out. You know, and what bothers me or scares me is, you know, we live here in Houston, Texas.
It's hot out.
It's
hot.
Yeah.
And what part of the state? Where was she?
This was in Indiana.
Indiana. Okay.
So I don't think it gets as hot out there, but she was dehydrated. The story does say that she was dehydrated. So I can affiliate that with us living here in Houston because again it's torture here out here.
Yeah, it's bad out here.
And I see myself drinking water, you know, on a consistent basis. Yeah. Now, 64 ounces, that is a lot of water.
That's a lot in 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's a lot of water.
64 ounces is a lot in 20 minutes. You know?
It is. I don't know. So I've heard similar stories, right? But I want to say this. It could be the same. It could have shocked the system, right? I know in some of the MIA camps, you know, where they had the prisoner of wars, they would starve them, right? To the point where when they finally eat, they would put a bunch of food in front of them. Yeah. And if you're hungry, naturally, you're going to go eat it. And you're going to go hard in the paint. But when you starve somebody, that will shock their system and they usually die. So they was doing it as like a torturing method. So I'm thinking it's working the same way with water. Maybe she was so dehydrated that when she got 64 ounces from nothing, it probably shocked the system.
Well, the terminology of the cause of death, they're calling it is water intoxication.
Right. Oh, that sounds. Yeah. And I thought you were going somewhere with a similar story. There's a lady. There was a radio contest out of Florida, and this happened about 4 or 5 years ago. It was right before COVID, and they challenged the lady. I think it was for a trip, and she had to drink one of those Ozarka delivery bottle water, the
5-gallon bottles.
Yeah. So they challenged her. I think she had to drink that water. They gave her 15 or 30 minutes to drink. I think it was 15 minutes because it was a radio show. So they gave her 15 minutes to drink that water. She did. But later that night, she died, and they call it dry drowning.
Dry drowning,
yeah. So kids, it happens to kids a lot too. Yeah. They'll go swimming in the pool. They'll drink some of the pool water, and because it was, I want to say that this happened before COVID too. There was a lot. It kept happening over the summertime. One summer, right before COVID, I've seen it happened quite a few times. So they'll drink so much water, but they won't. It's like it's stuck in their lungs, and when they go to sleep at night, it's like they drown. The water that's stuck in their lungs, it drowns and it drowns them that way. Yeah, it's called dry drowning.
Well, according to the National Institute of Health, water intoxication is a rare but dangerous condition caused by drinking too much water too fast.
Right.
Oh,
It upsets the electrolytes in the body. So I wonder if the temperature of the water plays a factor. I would.
I think so.
And I noticed the older I get, I drink room temperature water now.
Right.
Yeah.
It still has me concerned, on if I'm drinking room temperature water at this rate, if it would have this same adverse effect. You know what I'm saying?
My doctor told me, you jog, because I do jog a lot, right?
Yeah.
He said, stop drinking. That's why I only drink room temperature water. You can't go outside, been jogging with heat, and then shock your body with cold water so drink it room temperature so your body can get used to it, because you can't go from hot
To cold.
all the way to cold. Think about it on your teeth. You put something hot on their teeth, throw something cold, you're going to shock your tooth. Your tooth is going to be. So it's the same thing, he says. So you don't want to come from a hard sweat to some cold water. You want to get room temperature.
So, K-Money,
Yes, sir.
so you said that she drank, 64?
64 ounces
In 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Now,
That's a lot.
Now, Comedian 96, you gave an example of a young lady that consumed a large amount of water in a radio contest.
Right.
Now, I can see that happening to this lady in this radio contest.
Right. But water,
But-
I couldn't see nobody dying from water.
I can see this happening to that lady in the radio contest.
Uh-huh.
But K Money, this lady here, she wasn't in no contest,
Not
right?
at all, no.
So I would assume maybe she was just thirsty or dehydrated.
Dehydrated, yeah. The story
Okay.
does say she was
Dehydrated.
dehydrated.
So, she consumed 64 ounces in how many minutes?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Think about when we were younger and we used to drink alcohol. Think about the 40 ounces of beer.
And the amount of them
Shit.
And the amount of 40 ounces
you would
You
drink.
could drink.
you would drink.
Yeah.
They had 64 ounces.
Yeah. You could drink
So-
440s. Oh,
Wow.
That is
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying. That's a big difference.
40 times. If you add, you got
If you
That's
had
80 ounces.
240s, it's 80 ounces.
80
man.
ounces. And then if you carry it,
Most of the time,
Because
it
we
was more than
multiplying.
240s, though.
Yeah.
It would be more than 240s.
that's
It wasn't
320
just-
40s. No,
Man, it's-
no, not 320.
I-
300.
Wow.
You stay away from the
Yes.
calculator, man.
Yeah,
So
stop. Just-
this lady had 64 ounces of water.
Water.
Now think about how many 40 ounces we would drink.
How many ounces?
Yeah, I never thought about that,
340
bro.
ounces. It's 120.
So you gonna drink a 40 ounce?
I was 64
I
ounces.
talk about you gonna drink one now?
And that's just the little Mickeys, huh?
Yeah, you already know. Mickey's had the 64 ounces.
64 ounces, man, that's crazy.
Look, you hear that? He just
When
changed
you
his
think
whole-
about that stuff.
Nah, not at all, bro. You woke my eyes up, woke me up to some shit.
That's what I said. You just had a whole radio change, dog. You look, artist. He just heard the whole change. He said, "I'm not drinking no more, nothing."
Well, you better not be drinking no 40s this day and age. We don't drink 40s no more.
No.
Not out the bottle.
Nah,
Well, I don't drink, period. So
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm not really a beer drinker like that anymore. But man, it just makes you wonder. Like I say, living here in Houston, the sports that you have here, high school sports,
That's what I
them
was-
practicing out in this heat,
right there. Yes.
and the water consumption. The trainers have to be cautious and alert on how much water
much
these
water they
players
drinking.
are actually drinking.
Right.
and
That's
how
what that
fast.
shows.
And it's getting ready back to school. It is hot out here, and
Yeah,
they're finna get ready to practice. If they're not
They've
already
already been
practicing,
practicing.
They already
that's what I'm
practicing.
saying.
Yeah.
One man, so I know. I mean, God forbid, but you know it's coming. Somebody's gonna faint, and all these high schools that we have here, man. And I hope they're taking precautions for that, though. Don't shock the body with that cold water.
Overhydration. This is, I guess, what they call it, and symptoms may include altered mental status, disorientation, confusion,
Yeah.
nausea, and vomiting, which that kind of sound like signs of dehydration, also, don't
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess anything in front of hydration, you need to just be cautious.
Yeah, you might well go check in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
Start
man.
anywhere.
Yeah. Medical toxicologist says the key to preventing water intoxication is spreading out the intake of water throughout the day. So basically, the recommendation is 2 liters of water per day on average per person, and that's throughout the day. Man, but living here in Houston again, I know we drink a hell of a lot more water than that, just to keep cool.
Yeah, but you got to think about it too, man. That makes sense too, spreading it out, because think about it. Mm-hmm. If you're drinking a 2 liter of water, right, that should make your stomach full.
Yeah. It should.
It should make your stomach full, and then
After 32 ounces, your
yeah,
stomach
you're
should be
feeling a
full.
little full. So I don't see. I mean, I just don't get it. Like, you're really that thirsty to where you're drinking 64 ounces in 20 minutes.
I mean, maybe the water she was drinking, she wasn't feeling,
But it
getting
could,
that hydration feeling.
It could have been one of those, those big old stupid ones they have, the little health, the smart waters, they're huge. Ain't that thing about 64 ounces? So if you drink that big round fat one that they have in the store, I think it's like $4 or something like that.
Yeah, but
$3, $4.
But what I'm saying is, like, after about, let's say, 30 ounces, you should be a little full in
Yeah, I
your stomach.
understand. I agree with you, man.
But do you also agree that how many times if you took something, a jug of juice, those big gallon juice, and we say, try to take it to the head? It could have been one of them situations.
Yeah, but here's the difference between like a juice and a water.
Right.
A lot of times, especially like something with a lot of like acid or whatever, what happens when you take it to the head and you bring it down? Like a beer. We talked about 40 ounces.
Yeah.
When you take it to the head and bring it down, what comes after? A long burp.
Most of the time.
A lot of times with water,
you don't
Yeah,
get
you don't get that burp.
that
Not
long burp.
Yeah, that gas
So
is not
so
released.
that tells me like and when you let that gas out, that free up some room in your stomach a little
Exactly.
bit.
Right, yeah.
But with that water, it seems to me, and you can feel. It's like you can
You
should
can
be
feel it.
feeling
You can
the
feel
water
it,
that's
yeah.
moving around.
You-
So
you-
why would you
yeah.
keep?
Yeah, it's too much.
You feel like a little mini camel. For real, you be here swooshing around, but I still be drinking the water. I'll be crazy. I don't know what I'll be doing.
Yeah, you can't feel like you was that dehydrated to drink that much and at that amount of time, because there's really only 4 bottles of water when you think about it. 64 ounces. Each bottle of water is 16 ounces. It's 4 bottles of water.
That doesn't seem like a
It
lot.
don't even seem like a lot now.
It
Now
don't,
when you
not-
think about it,
Yeah.
that's not that much. That's a water bottle right here at 16
16
ounces.
ounces.
Damn, I
So
probably
before
had
you-
4 bottles
That's
of
what I'm
water
saying,
already.
In 20 minutes.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah, we
man.
probably
You
did
really
that
have to be cautious, because I've never even heard of water intoxication until this story came
Yeah.
out. And you mentioned this happening in
serious.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida. With
Yeah,
two
it's real
boys,
serious, bro.
little
We
boy,
drink
huh?
these. How many of these a day do you drink, or how often do you drink these a
But
day?
most of the time, they're not associated with drinking water. It's usually not water like water bottle. Other than the radio contest, it's normally the little boy. He was in the pool. He drank the pool water, and he got that in him. He didn't die right away. He got out the pool, played, and everything. It wasn't until that night when he went to bed and he died. That was also in Florida.
Yeah,
too.
it's chlorine and all kinds of
kinds
shit
of
in that
stuff in
water.
that, yeah.
No, he died from dry
too.
drowning. It was water still stuck in his lung from when he was in the pool. Even in the lakes, that's happened in the lakes. But normally it's associated with younger kids drinking too much of that water. You know how we was. We used to drink that water in the
No,
pool.
we
I
didn't
know
drink no pool water.
You didn't drink no pool water.
Not intentionally. I mean, I accidentally.
Nah,
Not
if
enough
I'm-
to where I feel I would do what you said. It's called dry drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to dry drown. I like the way it tastes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you mean you eat mud pies, pool water?
Oh, man.
Paper clips.
Hair growth.
Hey, I can see fellas.
I need help.
He said he forgot. I can see fellas if
I ain't had no bleach.
I was out drinking heavily the night before.
Right.
And then the next day I consumed this water and possibly,
Now that can happen.
I can see that
Yeah.
from the heavy alcohol intake
Right.
the night before.
Right.
But just because you will be dehydrated,
You're trying to
cotton
sober
mouth,
up. Trying to sober up a little bit.
Right, right.
Drink a lot of water
Right.
the day
and
after.
you'll have cotton mouth.
So
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go
And,
ahead,
no, I'm just saying I can see being dehydrated in that situation and consuming a lot of water, where I can see this could also occur.
So that boils down into if you're dehydrated, it probably would be wise to drink something with a lot of electrolytes, like a maybe
Gatorade,
or
Powerade,
Pedialyte.
Pedialyte, yeah.
And that way you won't have to consume so much of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I would assume. I don't know.
But I don't think there's nothing but water that can really quench your thirst. You gotta have pure water because you can't have sodas or nothing like that just because it's liquid. I think you gotta have water to actually quench your thirst.
Well, a lot of athletes drink Gatorade.
Yeah.
You could drink Gatorade.
Yeah, but I know they drink at least a
and
cup
water.
of water. So have you ever seen them
Well,
have
I'm
two cups?
not
They have one cup
saying
of water
that they
and the rest Gatorade?
I'm not saying that they're not
Yeah.
drinking water, but I'm saying
Yeah.
To replace the electrolytes.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
that's
to drink
true.
it. They have to drink it.
You mentioned something earlier, Freddie G, that does draw concern. The fact that she should have felt full. Mm-hmm. After the shit, half of the, like you said, I think somebody mentioned after 30 ounces, she should have felt full. And I agree.
That's what I said.
Right.
Yeah.
But on for real, this 16 after the way Slash broke it down, 16 ounces of water like this. If y'all put me on a dare before this story, had y'all put me on a dare to drink 5 of these right here quick, I'd have done it
And
before
that's
this story.
That's
because
over the
this
daily
is
amount.
it's doable though.
Yeah, it is.
It's very doable.
It
5 of
is.
these bottles of water.
Yeah.
So
It's
I'd have
easy.
had a
It's
shaky
easy to
stomach,
do.
but I'd have been all right. I'd have done it. So I wouldn't have expected to have died from drinking 5 bottles of water.
I've heard prison stories where these guys they play dominoes in prison, right?
Yeah.
Or cards in prison, and they either play for push-ups or for water.
Yeah.
And when you're losing, you're drinking a huge cup of water. If you're the loser.
Right.
And so just imagine how big this cup is, and they getting down there. Not only they drinking this huge cups of water if they losing, and then a domino game ain't gonna last that long if you going to 150.
Right.
Especially how I be beating up on Comedian 96.
Man, he got pipe
you know,
dreams.
but
Everybody got
did
pipe.
that.
Everybody got dreams.
Hey, you drink up, a lot of water, man. Just think about all those. I'm surprised you don't hear nothing like that in prison about prison stories. Or they're probably there.
Or
They
have we
probably
just,
have. I didn't know
or
nobody-
have we just not heard about it?
Yeah,
We ain't paying attention to
You know.
them.
Hey,
Yeah.
think about it, fellas. Some of these movies, when they torturing people, how they'll put a towel over their mouth.
They throw
Yeah,
water
waterboard.
over.
What they call it?
Throw a towel.
Waterboarding.
Waterboarding.
Yeah,
Waterboarding.
They didn't do that to you in boot camp?
Nah, I didn't get that.
Boy, we can.
I didn't
Oh,
get that.
let me shut it. It just happened.
Yeah, I
to me.
didn't get that waterboarding though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how, yeah.
But that's similar, isn't it?
I would think that's more of
The drowning.
portion of where
Yeah.
you can't breathe.
You can't breathe. Yeah,
And they're just drowning you like that.
it's the thought of the unknown when it's
versus-
coming and where it's coming and how it's gonna come. You don't know if it's gonna go up your nose and your eyes. And
And
your
once
throat
it's in
and-
there, it's no
yeah,
stopping it
you don't
because
know
it's
where
water.
the water coming from
You
because
know.
they got your faces covered.
So you do think you can drink that whole water bottle without stopping?
Yes, but I'm not gonna
can't.
do it after this story.
I can.
I've done it.
So, but the feeling that you get towards the end, like you almost
I get a feeling
out of
for a
breath type
second
of
bottle.
feeling.
But
Yeah,
after
that's because you're holding your breath while you're drinking.
So
Right.
so
I get a feeling for the second bottle, but after the second bottle, I can't. That's it. Then I don't want no
I got
more.
what you're saying.
I don't want no more after that second bottle. But I could go through with it. I can tell my body. Like Olivia said, I know my body. Same thing. I know I could do 5, but I wouldn't do it now, especially at the age I am at, and then after this story. So, I'm good on that. I'll do 2, 3 a day now.
Well,
3
that's not-
bottles of water a day.
A day. 3.
I drink more than that.
I know, but I'm gonna spread it out.
But that's
3 to
why I'm
4.
saying.
I do 3 to 4 now. It's scary now. And after, you don't want to just drink no water.
I don't do them like some people drink.
Cause
one
I be drinking most of mine at
constantly.
night.
Well, like I said,
Me
as long
too.
as you spread it out,
You
it
spread
should
it out
be
throughout
okay.
the day,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's still not. a
Oh,
lot.
she took us to the head. That was a difference.
Well, she did it in a 20-minute span.
In 20
64
minute
ounces
span.
in 20 minutes.
She drunk 4 of these in
That's
20 minutes.
bad.
So every 5 minutes she drank.
It's got to be something more
One of
to
these.
it. Cause I'm thinking she just took it to the head. Now, that's different. She took it to the head. I can understand it. But 20-minute span, golly.
Well, when you dehydrated, bro, you really just trying to cool off and get hydrated again. So, I mean, I've seen myself in that situation,
that means
what scares me.
Every 5 minutes, she just went and got a bottle of water, took it to the head. That's easy to do.
Exactly.
5 minutes?
Right.
Exactly.
Every 5 minutes. You just go get one bottle of water.
If you're feeling like you dehydrated,
Yeah.
or feeling down. But she probably needed something else, like some vitamin C or something.
I wonder if, there was some drinking the night before. Because that was the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, so she may have had a few drinks.
And that's the part they not, they not letting out.
That's right.
saying.
And then she might have went swimming too. Did she go swimming?
Well, they were celebrating the 4th at a lake
So
in Indiana.
that could be a
That's
part
what I'm
of
saying.
it.
So it could have been some partying going
kids,
on.
When I told you kids,
yeah.
she probably drank that water from the day before and died, and just add to the water that she already had in her system.
Yeah, you remember when I asked you guys about? I didn't ask you guys. I was telling you guys about stories I had heard about guys in prison drinking water for push-ups and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So this wasn't for push-ups, but this was I looked at just found a story about a guy that was in San Diego County Jail back in 2021. He committed suicide by drinking too much water.
What?
Water intoxication.
Yep.
He knew what to do.
Yep.
He wanted to get rid of
He
himself.
took his own life
Wow.
You can't stop nobody from drinking water.
No.
by consuming too much water.
No.
So he took his own life.
Yeah, you got to go with God, man.
Well, that's gotta be a painful death with all that water. Your water just filled up. You gotta wait.
I would think, man, you would have to pee or something.
Yeah.
You gotta
Wait.
pee.
So it's got to come out. There's a
After
process.
so long, I'm sure
While you
the
drinking
piss will
like
be
that,
coming.
it should be coming
I mean,
out.
you can get kidney problems because if you don't pee, you can get kidney problems quick.
Maybe
Really?
he had kidney problems.
Yeah. And that could be it too. Yeah.
That's scary, man. So for y'all, for those out there listening, again, to avoid water intoxication, spread your consumption of the water apart, and don't rush. Take your time and be smart. Thanks for joining us. This concludes another True Tuesday episode, and be sure you tune in tomorrow for Women Wednesday with Freddie G. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast. And for all you YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe. And to all my 52 Scott faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.